This time on Woody's Garage. Are you still playing with your Johnson?
All right, we're in the evening of the day, as Mick Jagger said, and we got the engine inside. And I watched a good video on CDI ignitions because I've never dealt with one on an outboard before. Motorcycle, yeah, but same difference. I'm not very well versed in it. And I'm going to start with just spark diagnosis. And what he said was to wrap the plugs in wire and then screw it down to the block so that you have a good ground, so that you're testing both of them at the same time. He said if you don't do that, if you just do one, there's a chance you can screw up the system, which is something that might have happened to me. I don't know. But as you see, that bottom one is healthy and the top one is not. So the guy also went through the different numbers to look for on the voltmeter to test the power pack, also I guess called the trigger, and the two coils, one here and one below, and try to figure out like what the heck's going on. It seems like in a lot of cases the power pack goes out, and I hope that didn't happen because I was testing the plugs one at a time, which seems absolutely asinine. I mean, haven't we been doing that since the dawn of the engines? You know, we don't test them all at once, but okay. So I'm going to watch a little of the guy's video. I will link it down below this video if you want to see someone that knows what the hell they're doing. Okay, the first thing we're going to test here is the trigger, which is the power pack thing over here. So we took this coupling apart, which goes together like this, has that snap ring on it. I think I showed you that before. Has 4 leads. What you got is a black and white and a white and black wire. Those are the ones that go to the trigger. What's really crazy here though is the trigger, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, hang on. I'm an expert. Okay. I don't know how we're checking the trigger if these wires, if the trigger is unplugged. Okay, we're checking the trigger by taking this apart. What we got is a black and white and a white and black wire on the bottom here. We want to stick these probes in here. We got the voltmeter set at 200, and what we got is 37.6, and that's fine because it should be in between 35 and 55, and what that means is the trigger's okay. Okay, the next thing I'm testing is the stator, and that's in the same plug, but you use the other two plugs. And it doesn't matter. These are, you can put them in either black, red in that one, black in this one, doesn't make any difference. And we got a range between, I think it was, he said 506 and 650. And what I have is 575, which is fine. We're running in the 2K range because we're over 200. So, it looks like the stator's okay too. Okay, his was like very close to mine. I think his was 560 or something like that, but it wasn't 0.560. Mine's 0.574. That's weird. I'm in the same range that he had his. Same plugs. Why is mine point? I don't know. And then there's a 2 below that. whatever the hell that means. Yeah, I'm a whiz with the voltmeter. Actually, usually I don't have much of a problem with it, but this time I am. Okay, we put that connection back together. And now we got another one of these things. We got to take apart. And this is to test the coils. Kind of. Last time I took this apart, it's only one end that comes apart. I'm probably pulling on the wrong one. I was. Don't pull on the wires. Alright, if you can see here, we're going to test the top coil. We got this apart. That is the output that goes to the spark plug. We're going to put the voltmeter in the 2K range, and we're going to put a lead on that, on the output, and a lead on ground. And what we're getting is 263. And I believe it's supposed to be between 200 and 400. So that would mean that that's good. Let me double check on that setting. Yep, the range is 200 to 400. And we certainly do have that. Now, a little curious about the bottom one. I know it's good. The bottom one comes out to, you can't see the meter, but you have to believe me, 277. So that one's good too. So that's the primary connection. Now we got to test the secondary. Okay, now we're going to test the secondary, which is you got to find the wire that comes into this connection, the male connection, not the female. And yeah, okay, we got the yellow wire, which is this middle connection here. We gotta try to get a lead on that, and then get a good ground with the other one. We're getting 0.7, which I think is good, although it varies. It's a really minimal level of ohms. I'm trying to act like I know what I'm talking about. I really don't. Ooh, that was up to 1.1, but now it's 0.7, 0.8. 0.6. It's not jumping around. It's just how I'm holding the leads, I think. Let me see if 0.7 is good. I'm not quite sure. 0.07 is within range, so that's good. I'll link a chart below that you can go and look at, because these numbers just I forget them. Let me see, here is the other coil. We got a brown wire. This kind of looks like maybe the top one looks like an aftermarket coil to me. But it's got the brown wire. The black is for the kill wire. And I think he has a way to test that too. But right now, we want, yeah, the brown. That reads the same. 0.8, 0.7. So it says those two are good. I mean, geez, what the heck is going on? And now we'll test the kill switch. So it's just a continuity test where you take the one last wire that's in here, which is, in this case, a black wire to the right, and you get a connection on that, and then you stick it to ground, and you shouldn't get any reading, and I don't get any reading. So that would mean, if you got a reading, it would mean that your kill switch is faulty, which is up front there, you know, just a push button deal. And nothing. I mean, I just think I went through everything. And after all that, everything seemed to test okay, but we still only have spark on the lower plug. On the original, it looks like the original coil. This coil is not sparking. But it reads okay. Now here's what the power pack looks like. Look, it's this epoxy thing with all these circuits and stuff in there. Like a Standell guitar amplifier. You have no idea what's going on. You can't work on it. You can't do anything. But I did notice that the screw I took out on the bottom is like, yeah, that's pretty rusty. So we'll clean that up. We'll clean this mess up. I already cleaned this ground over here, but wouldn't hurt to make it a little better. Let's do that, see if it makes any difference. So I clean that nut and bolt off, and that nut and bolt off, and that again, and there's no difference at all. Alright, it's the next day, and I've had some time to think about this a little bit. And I watched a couple more videos of people diagnosing these things. And when everything checks out, like it did with me, they say it's the power pack. So, I don't know if I've been mislabeling trigger with power pack. Maybe it's not the same thing. Maybe the trigger's up in the flywheel. I'm not sure about that. Like I said, this is a new experience for me. I found a couple of power packs. There, I can get one from China for $39, but it's going to be like 2.5 weeks, or maybe longer, to get here. And then I found one more locally for $32.99 from a eBay store, excuse me, that has 100% feedback on marine items. So marine items, I know, are dicey. A lot of people get a lot of negative feedback selling the stuff because it won't work. And I think I'm going to go with that. $32.99. It's weird. You get a new project like this, and it seems to take priority over everything, including eating food. It's like you gotta fix it. So I think I'm going to order that up, and that'll be probably a week before I get it. And then we'll try it out. I'm hoping that's what it is. Here's my updated windmill. The polar seltzer can prop. Crudely shaped. We'll probably figure out how to make that better. But I decided to make it pivot, and hopefully this tail, which is just hot glued on. The glue's probably still hot. I just put it on. Will steer it in the direction of the wind. Hopefully it won't work in the opposite direction than I think it might. And now that it's just got a nail, I figured that's the smoothest surface in between the wood, and a stack of washers underneath and some oil on it. So hopefully I can pivot around okay. And the base, I realize, is probably going to be too light now, so I think I'm going to attach it to 2 bricks. But we'll see how it does. There's a storm coming this afternoon, so we might see how it holds up to that. Well, we got a box today, And the box contains the new power pack. I think it was shipped well, and they included one of these doodads. That's nice. Here it is as a sticker. And yeah, it looks just as crappy as the, maybe even worse than the the one we're replacing. I'm going to clean up these connections here, and probably these connections too, and then we'll swap it out. So those tests I was doing before, quite honestly, it seemed like I was testing this power pack, but I guess I was not. They said there's, or from what I've heard, there's not really a way to test these, or maybe, you know, there's a special analysis tool that'll do it, but I'm waiting for a backyard shade tree mechanic to do it, as far as I know. Okay, that's tight enough to destroy it. We'll put the ground screw on, and then we'll see what, plug it back in and see what's going on. Okay, fingers crossed. Really crossed. Oh, here we go. Nope. Shit. See, the top one's sparking, the bottom one still is not sparking. Ah, brother. Well, that's all the money I got to throw at this thing. Make sure that cap was down. This is a pretty long cap there. Shit. Yeah, I can swap the plugs, but no, the top one is just not working. I guess it wasn't the power pack. Okay, so I've been screwing around with this for an hour or so. Just replugging stuff in, taking it apart, putting it back together, trying it to no avail. I got the puller on it right now. I took the big nut off here. And we're going to take the flywheel off and just take a look, see if, you know, we see anything that looks screwed up. I'll tell you, I don't know if there's a tool I hate more than this. I'm standing on a milk crate, which is also a lot of fun. Yeah. This thing is so beat on that the regular wrench won't fit. Oh, God damn you. It's like a jack-in-the-box. I hated jack-in-the-boxes when I was a kid. Ugh. Yeah, it's kind of going off center. This engine's precarious as well. Yeah, I love disasters. Well, I got it, but I'm sorry you missed it. It was horrifying. Yeah, it felt like something was about to explode, and it did. Boom! So this is what we got under the flywheel. I think that's the charging coil, I call that. And this is the trigger. That is a power pack. I don't know, the guy kept referring to this as the trigger. I don't know why. Maybe because this triggers this. Probably. But I'm just looking at the connections and stuff. And, I don't know. Is there any way to test this freaking thing? I don't know. I can't tell. That kind of looks factory because it looks good. But these kind of don't look factory. You know, this thing's pretty beat up. Yeah, I suppose I can replace these zip ties, so let's take those off. I think they're sharp as can be. I mentioned I got stung by bees 3 or 4 times today. Oh man. Yeah, I'm in from doing this because the housework is going so well. And we're not having much luck with this. I mean, this thing doesn't look... This is just a sheathing here. It's sheathing the sheathing is kind of what it is. I could tape it up. It's kind of in a strange place. I mean, I don't really know why why somebody zip tied it. See a little bit better. Maybe there was a place to zip tie it before, and they had some other kind of fancy thing on it. But I don't think hitching this to this and this is a very good idea. I also see that the white and black and white come over to here, and the brown and yellow and brown also come to here. So they go straight to the power pack, it seems. Learning something, I guess. And like I said, I'm new to this CDI setup in outboards. And these are the magnets inside the flywheel. Looks like there's 2 sets. 2 for 2 cylinders. They there's a little bit of debris on them, but that won't stop them from working. I took out the 2 screws on this plate just to have a look to see if there's any wire chafing or anything. I suppose this is what you got to do if you're going to take one of these out anyway and replace it. Now I watched yet another video where a guy sounded like he kind of had the same issue as I did. And he said, yeah, I thought it was a power pack. I replaced a power pack. Same thing. I changed the charging coil and suddenly I had spark. Yeah, then I'll change that. Then I'll change this. Then I'll change this. Then I'll change this. $700 later, we'll have a $50 engine. Now I thought it might also be the kill switch. Up front here had wires crossed or something. This is a kill switch up here. And it was loose in here, so I just kind of tightened it up and all seems fine. I followed these wires back. Oh yeah, this is the feed right here. There's one biggie that goes to the ground, and this other one goes to the junction here, which probably grounds everything out in here to here, if that makes any sense. Hardly does to me. Alright, I mangled a plug. I put in the second power pack after screwing around for quite a while. I tried jumping wires by sticking nails into the connections and using jumper wires and crap, and yeah, I've been at it for a while again. And what I did is I pulled the wires out of this baby. I tried pushing them out with a punch, and finally they got all bent up and they got fucked up. So, needless to say, what I'm doing right now is I am swapping the wires. The yellow one is the top, the orange one is for the bottom. We know the orange one's good, so I put the orange one into the center plug. And it works. The bottom one works. The top one, no. The top one should work. It does not. It's just the opposite of what it should be. I can't figure this damn thing out. It's the opposite of what it should be. I just swapped the wires back to how they should be, and this one still sparks. The bottom one still sparks, and the top one still does not. It would seem to me that that would mean the coil is no good, but the coil tests just fine. It's funny, I had one on eBay. The guy just offered it to me for 14 bucks shipped, and I said no, and somebody bought it right away. Oh, damn it. Yeah, I jumped it several more times. I actually tried running a lead from the one that works to also to the other coil to see if they both light up at the same time. But I guess there's probably not enough voltage to make them both spark because neither of them worked. I gotta guess that it's this coil even if it tests good. Weird. So now we got the whole kill switch out of the situation, so that can't be a problem. The kill switch plugs into here, and then it's grounded to here, which somehow will kill it. Now these wires here, this is the yellow for the top coil, this is the brown for the bottom coil. Now, like I said before, even swapped, the only one that'll work is the lower coil, and the lower coil will work in either one of these positions. I took this coil, the top coil, off completely off the engine and tested it with the ohm meter, and it tests fine. So what in the hell can it be? This wire's okay, the plug's okay. Anybody know?